know what's going on in Las Vegas. I really don't. It's been really crazy this past week. Hell, it's been really crazy this past year. But right when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, a video of Damon Arnette just makes its way to the internet of him literally waving around a gun and saying that he's going to end someone's life. I am not kidding you. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of a warning. This video is going to get demonetized. Believe it or not, you can't post videos of yourself waving guns around in YouTube videos. That's why FPS Russia is no longer on YouTube. Well, that and alongside other things. So since this is going to get demonetized, you know what YouTube usually does. They don't promote videos that are getting demonetized to a larger audience because, well, there's no way they can make money off of that. And since they can't make money off of that, that means less people see this video. And since less people see this video, that means less people might subscribe. So if you can take a moment and leave a like, consider subscribing and turning on our notifications. We are on a crazy upload streak. You guys have been really supportive lately. I've been reading a lot of your comments, man. Really appreciate the support you guys have been giving me. It helps me push through the exhaustion. Of course, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram so you can tip us off on any crazy stuff going on. In this case, my man Vegas Bolts fan told me about this and I had to bring you guys the video on Twitter, so a huge shout out to you. And now that we get all that out of the way, break! This video is sponsored by Atlas VPN, which is by far the greatest value you could get in a VPN. Some of you guys might not know what a VPN is. A virtual private network makes all of your internet traffic travel through an encrypted tunnel, and this way it protects you from would-be hackers that might be spying on you or anyone that might be taking advantage of the fact that you're on a public Wi-Fi network. Atlas VPN comes with this data breach monitor feature, which is a security feature designed to track any data breaches related to your online accounts. It automatically scans leaked databases and informs you of any past or recent breaches where your personal information, such as your email address, username and password, or social security numbers have been exposed. Even better yet, probably the most underrated reason to get Atlas VPN is for streaming purposes. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus all have geo-restricted rights on various TV shows. And with Atlas VPN, you can bypass the geo restrictions by pretty much saying that you're in a different location than where you currently are, which means you can watch shows like Top Gear, Rick and Morty, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine if you use Atlas VPN. Now get a load of this. Atlas VPN is giving you a huge discount for a limited time only. Right now, if you click my link in the description down below, you'll get 86% off of Atlas VPN, which comes out to $1.39 a month plus 3 months for free as a Black Friday special. So click the link in the description down below so you could get Atlas VPN for 86% off and 3 months for free. And thank you, Atlas, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? You don't really need to dig too far to see the crazy stuff that's been happening with the Las Vegas Raiders this past year. The very first thing that happened was the cancellation of Jon Gruden, which, in my opinion, we could debate whether it was warranted or unwarranted, but the one thing I will admit was it came out of freaking nowhere. It was really, really random. I mean, you just woke up one day and saw this article about Jon Gruden commenting on DeMaurice Smith's lips, and next thing you know, a few days later, you have this huge campaign on Jon Gruden saying misogynistic and homophobic things, which results in him stepping down as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. But then, right when you think they were ready to move on, they brought in Rich Bisaccia, the team gathered together and they pulled together, and they still are performing fairly well. Well, this past week was even crazier with the unfortunate tragedy of Sir Henry Ruggs III deciding to get absolutely plastered twice the legal limit of alcohol in his body, get behind the wheel and go drive 156 miles per hour and crash into another car. A poor woman by the name of Tina Tinter was in that car and she literally burned alive in that car because she was trapped and the her car caught on fire, and that's a horrible way to go, man. Henry Ruggs ultimately had to pay the ultimate price. He got released by the Las Vegas Raiders, and he could be facing multiple years, 2 to 20 years in jail, maybe even more than that, because he's being charged with multiple things. So far, if we're counting everything, the man that was supposed to completely change the culture of the Las Vegas Raiders, Jon Gruden, stepped down as the head coach. Then you add what happened to Henry Ruggs, who was supposed to be a huge part of this team's future, pretty much throw his career away. And that brings us to Damon Arnette. Now, in some form of poetic justice, Damon Arnette was the other first-round pick that the Las Vegas Raiders had in the 2020 NFL Draft. So with the 12th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders selected Henry Ruggs. 7 picks later, they selected Damon Arnette. Now, there's 2 things that are happening here, okay? And the first comes as a result of him being sued. Now, the second point we're about to make here is way crazier than the first one, and the first one's already crazy enough, especially considering the theme of this week being, I don't know, horrible car crashes. But here's what went down. Former first-round pick Damon Arnette is now being accused of injuring a woman in a violent car crash last year, but the cornerback is vowing to fight the allegations. It's all spelled out in a new lawsuit in which a woman says on October 14, 2020 that Arnette slammed into her car with his vehicle at around 7:29 a.m. in Las Vegas. Now, the woman says in the docs that Arnette, who was taken by Las Vegas 7 picks after the Raiders took Henry Ruggs in April's 2020 NFL Draft, thought he had missed his turn into the Raiders facility, so he swerved at around 65 miles per hour in order to still make the right. The woman says the driver's side of his car hit her driver's side violently, causing significant damage to both sides. I'm trying to imagine that, to be honest. His driver's side hits her driver's side. So I'm trying to imagine that. I can't even imagine how the impact would be for that, if I'm being honest. But I digress, because what's worse is the woman claims Arnette illegally left the scene of the crash afterward and headed toward the Raiders headquarters just feet away. Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just, what? Like, what are you doing? What's with the Las Vegas Raiders and just not being able to drive like normal human beings? You know, like, I don't mean to be insensitive, because this is actually horrible. The woman in the document says she suffered several injuries in the accident, including head trauma, and is now dealing with shoulder, neck, and back pain, as well as depression and panic attacks. She says she suffered damages exceeding $92,000. Police records show Arnette was actually cited for the crash, and in an incident report we obtained, cops say he did admit to making the unsafe right turn and crashing, but said he stayed long enough to render aid to the woman. In the police documents, Arnette said he only left because he was running late to a meeting at work, but had a friend stay at the scene to provide his contact information to the authorities. To be honest, man, I try to remain fair and impartial in these situations, and given the entire scenario so far, it does sound like Damon Arnette was late to a meeting. This was in October of 2020, so this is a guy that is still within the first few weeks of his NFL career. He didn't want to be late. Jon Gruden seemed to be a fairly intense guy. He missed his turn. He made a really weird turn at 65 miles per hour, got into a car crash, told his buddy, hey, Jon Gruden's gonna kill me. Please do me a favor and stay here and provide my information to this woman. But cops claim that the friend did not provide Damon Arnette's info and actually tried to take the fall for the NFL player. But cops were ultimately able to get to the bottom of it after locating Arnette at the Raiders facility. So he was cited for failure to maintain the travel lane, as well as duty to stop a property damage incident. As for Damon's side, his attorney tells us that Mr. Arnette denies the allegations in the complaint and looks forward to addressing these claims through the court process. So that's one thing that's going on with Damon Arnette. And oh yeah, here's a video of him waving around a gun saying that he's gonna end someone's life.
That shit 5 minutes away. Pull up, lame. I swear to God, I will kill you, nigga. On everything I love, I will kill you, nigga. You talking crazy. Talking about that shit 5 minutes away. Bro, like, I really did kill you. I real deal kill you, my nigga. I will real deal kill you, my nigga. And I ain't the only one here, too, nigga. We got a whole army in this hole. Pull up right now. It's 5 minutes away. All right, pull up right now. I ain't mad.
Dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what the context of this was. I don't know if this was taken tonight. I don't know if this was taken before he got drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know what the context is, but if there's one thing you should not do, like, I don't even think media training is necessary for this. I don't think you need to I think the stupidest thing anyone could do is take out a gun and film themselves saying, hey, I'm going to kill somebody with this. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the Las Vegas Raiders. This is just crazier and crazier, and it seems like right when we think it's over, something else ends up coming out. So let me know what you guys think about all this, man. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.